Hello everybody. Um, Today I want to make a new bracelet that I designed, but first I want to show you a couple of necklace sets that I made using some of the dollar beadbox beads this month. And I've already made a video for it, but I've got to go back and do a few edits. So there's that one using that beautiful kiwi green bead from the dollar beadbox. And it's leather and stretchy chokers. They go together. You wear them together. And then here's the second one using that zebra stripe dollar beadbox bead. And so those videos will be coming up soon. Just wanted to show them to you because I'm kind of excited. I really like the looks of these. But for today, we're going to be making this bracelet. It's made out of Czech Nib-bits and bicones and seed beads. And I like the way it looks on. Add a nice touch with that little black dress or jeans. So we're going to need the materials list for this project is 2 different colors of 11/0 seed beads, some 4mm bicones, some Czech Nib-bits, and I've got a 2-bar clasp. I put, bead toggle clasps on this one. You can put whatever clasps you want on it. But the thing is with these units, they're separate units that we sew together, and it was a little big after I put these on. So I need a clasp that I have a 7-inch wrist. So if you use a shorter clasp, a smaller clasp like this, they'll cut down on some of the length, therefore fitting better. Okay, I think that's all the materials we're going to need. It's a rather, don't take many materials. So, you need some thicker I got a size 8 fireline in smoke and a size 10 beading needle. I used monofil and it's really flimsy, and I needed a little bit stiffer thread to hold the outside a little stiffer. So get your stuff together and come back and we'll get started. Okay, let's pick up 6 of these Czech Nib-bits, and you want to pick them up like this. In the very first hole, with the tip, the left side, the left hole, looking at it like this. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and bring them down, leaving about a, 6-inch tail, something long enough to where you can sew it in, because we're going to tie a knot. Sorry about the phone. That's what I do. Be back. Okay. Now we have this, so we want to go back through and reinforce the holes we've already come through. So I'll probably have to do it one hole at a time. And 6. And come up to the top hole of that same bead and reverse back the same way, or the opposite way, excuse me. So now we're going to pick up 2 11-ohs, 1 4mm bicone, and 2 11-ohs. And we're going to go through that same hole the opposite way. The threads come out over here, go through the opposite side, and pull. Now pick up 1 seed bead and go through the next hole of the next bead, the top hole of the next bead. Pick up 2 11-ohs, 1 bicone, 2 11-ohs, and go through the hole, the opposite side of that hole that your thread's coming out. It's called chasing the thread through that hole. And then pick up 1 11-oh and go through the top hole of the next bead. One more time, 2 11-ohs, 1 bicone, 2 11-ohs, go through the opposite side of the hole the beads are coming out of. Now pick up 1 11-oh and go through the hole, the top hole of the next nibbit. Like that. And just continue to go around, and I'll come back when we're doing the last bead so I can show you how to finish it up and step up. Okay, we've come through that last bead, the top hole, so we're going to pick up 1 11-oh, and we're just going to do what we did all the way around, except there's, there's beads there, but that doesn't matter. Just come through that top hole. You can even come through the next seed bead. It don't matter because we're going up that way anyway. And pull that bead into place. And that bead went right here in between these 2 beads. So you're going to hold your tail out of the way, and you're going to work your way up to a 4mm bicone. Now, we're coming out of the 4mm bicone. We're going to grab the next 11O seed bead also. Okay, so we're coming out of 11O seed bead, and then we're going to be going into that 11O seed, from that 11O seed bead to that 11O seed bead closest to the bicone. Right here, we're going to be going through the 11O seed bead and the bicone and the next 11O seed bead. So pick up a bicone, go through that 11O, that bicone, and the next 11O, if you can grab it at once. If not, you have to do it in 2 steps. All we're doing is putting a 4mm bicone in this little V. So pick up a 4mm bicone, go into that 11O, the bicone, and the next 11O. If you can get it, if not, grab it the next step. And put that 4mm bicone in there. Do that all the way around and come back and we'll do the next step. Okay, we got this. Now, so we just came through this seed bead. We've got to go through a next bicone, the next seed bead, and the next bicone. We're going to be working off the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points. 2 on the top, 2 on the bottom, and 1 on each side. Like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're just going to pick up 1 11O, 1 bicone, 1 11O. And we're just going to go into the opposite side of that bicone. Okay, and then we're going to go into the next 11O. $4mm bicone, 11O. And then into that 4mm bicone on the corner. 11O, bicone, 11O. And we're just going to chase the thread through that 4mm bicone, the same bead, opposite side. We're basically putting points on these corners, okay? So go through that next 11O, bicone. We're working to the corner again. 11O, bicone. And pick up a 11O, bicone, 11O. And go through the opposite side of that bicone that you're coming out of. and then work yourself over to the next corner. What you're doing is you're skipping 11-0, bicone, 11-0, and working out the next bicone. Alright, so finish the next 3 corners and come back. Okay, so you put your last 11-0, bicone, 11-0 on. Then I want you to come through the next 11-0, bicone, 11-0, bicone. And then come up through that side, 11-0. Oops, my needle fell out. And then back. Make sure you keep your tail thread out of the way. And then back through that bicone on top. Okay. Then we're going to switch our color seed beads. You don't have to, you can use the same color if you'd like, but I'm going to pick up 7. Now this is depending on if you're using Miyuki or Delicas, or not Delicas, or Tohos. You might have to adjust 1 or 2. There's 7. And then just go straight across into that next bicone. Like that. We're just drawing a line around. Pick up 7 or 8. And come out of here, go into this next bicone, and just the bicone. I think that one can use another seed bead. Dump the tail out of the way. Alright, just continue to go around. You don't want it to buckle, so make sure you got enough seed beads in between each bicone. And when you're finished with that, come back and I'll show you how to knot off. Okay, so we've made it all the way around. I wasn't so sure about these colors, but I kind of like them together. The slate blue, slate gray, and then the believe it or not, the white color looks more like a Navajo white, but it is a galvanized aluminum Toho, I think, a matte color, I believe. Anyway, so we're coming out of the bicone. We're just going to come through these 11-0s and just grab the thread bridge, go underneath the thread, oops, leave yourself a little loop, needle through the loop. Try not to pull too tight. You don't want to buckle your component, but you want to tie that and then go through the bicone. Okay, and just pull that knot up into the bicone. And then you want to go through these 11 O's. And then you want to do the same thing. You want to tie a half-hitch knot underneath the thread bridge. Get that tail out of the way. Go through the loop, tie a knot, and go down through that bicone. Oops. And pull that knot up into the bicone if I can get through it. Okay. Try to keep your component straight and not buckled. And go around tying knots before each bicone, and then you can cut off your thread. Now you can go ahead and sew your tail thread in on this one, but on every other one I left a long tail thread so I could use it to sew my components together. You need one long tail thread to every 2 components. Alright, and I made 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 components for a 7-inch bracelet for a 7-inch wrist, a little over 7 inches, probably 7 1/4. 6 components. If you need bigger, you'll have to figure that out. You'll have to measure around your wrist and see if you have room to make another component. This is bigger. This is, I mean, it fits, but it's looser than what I like it, with the toggle bead clasps and the beaded loops. I'm going to use this bar clasp, so 6 components and a bar clasp will fit a 7-inch wrist. Okay, so make 6 of these components, come back, and we'll sew them together and put on our clasp. Okay, have fun. Okay, we're back, and I want to show you how to sew our components together. So you're coming out of one side of the 4mm bicone. On ends, you want the points at the top, and then you want 2 on each side. So we're going to connect this part to this part, the same part on the other component. Now I've went ahead and sewn some of my components together. So this is my last one. And we're just going to pick up one of your 11O seed bead colors. I chose the color that I'm outlining my components with. And I'm coming on the top of that bicone. So I'm going to jump over to the top of the adjacent bicone on the other component and go down through. And just get the bicone. And my thread, and then we want to pick up another 11O, and we're coming out of the bottom of this bicone now, so we're going to go into the bottom of the adjacent bicone and up through. You might have to fiddle with it a little bit. If you've reinforced your units, space might be getting tight, but I'm sure you can make it through. And then just go over and, well, go ahead and reinforce by going back through what we just did. So go through that 11O, down through the bicone, through that 11-0, and then we're going to go back up through the bicone on the adjacent side. And if you get an SC bead or two, that's okay. So we're going to go straight up through and connect the other side. Like I said, this is, for me, is getting pretty tight. So just grab a pair of pliers if you need to and give it a tug to make it through. And then go up through those 11-0 and through that bicone and pull. Now we're going to pick up an 11-0 seed bead. We're coming out of the top of this bicone. We're going to go down through the top of the adjacent bicone and just catch the bicone. And then pick up an 11-0. And we're coming out the bottom of that bicone. We're going to go up through the bottom of the adjacent bicone. And pull. Now reinforce. Butterfingers. Try to get through that bicone one more time. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and knot off, go under, catching the thread bridge, pull yourself a loop, needle through that loop, and pull. And then go through some beads. I knot off in front of every bicone. That way I can pull the knot up through the bicone, grab a thread bridge, pull down a loop, needle through that loop, pull, go through that bicone if you can get through it, and pull that knot up through. So continue to go through, not making some half-inch knots in front of every bicone. Come back and then I'll show you, we'll sew our end on. Okay, here we are, and we're going to be coming out of that 4mm bicone towards the center. Center being, right here. So we're coming out the top, and we're going to pick up, I didn't have quite enough. I told you to make 6 units, and then we were going to use a short slide bar clasp. For a 7 inch wrist to fit a 7-inch wrist. Well, I didn't have enough of the slate blue bicones to make 6 units. So go ahead, you use your 6 units. You can use this 2-bar clasp. All you got to do is come out of, it's got to have 2 rings, and you just come out each bicone, loop through the loop, come back through the bicone over and over in each loop. But I couldn't make 6, so I'm gonna improvise. So that's what we normally have to do, is improvise in making the length and using different clasps, different style clasps. So pick up 11. If you're making this kind of clasp, which I like because, you know, you don't even need a store-button clasp, you just use beads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pick up 11 O's. Okay, and then I'm using one of these little silver spacer beads, and then you got to figure out how many beads you need to go around whatever size bead you're using. Mine's a 10 millimeter, so excuse me. Oh, let's say 2, 3, 7, 10, 18, 22, 23, 24, 26. Now, I'll probably peyote this end to reinforce it, so it will take up a little bit of space. So I'm going to add a couple extra. It's 28. Go down through that bead you used to, you know, separate the 11 O's, and then pick up 11 more. Let's see, there's 1, 2, 3. Looking through a camera, it makes this a little rough. So 7, 11. Now you're going to go, it said you're going to be, you know, when we started, we were coming out of the inside. So we want to make sure to go through the inside of that bicone on the other side. Pull. Now, make sure you test your loop. Make sure, you know, I know mine's a little big. I meant it to be because I want to be peyoting it. But yeah, make sure you do test that. And I'm facing the wrong way. See, I want to get back up to this loop. So I'm just going to grab a 1/2 hitch knot here. So I don't have to go clear around the component, work my way around. I'm just going to grab a 1/2 inch knot, and then I'm going to head right back through that bicone. Just the bicone. And then I'm going to go back up the 11 seed beads. I used so many here because I needed that length. Go through that spacer bead. I don't know about you, but I'm dying to start making Christmas stuff, jewelry and Christmas decorations. I hope I don't get burned out on it before Christmas season, you know. Alright, let's grab that first seed bead, and then we're going to parity. So we're going to pick up a seed bead, skip a seed bead, and go up through that next seed bead. Pick up a seed bead, skip a seed bead, and needle up through the next seed bead. See, that's laying on the wrong, I went on the wrong side of the bead when so, but that's okay. Pick up a seed bead, skip one, needle through that next seed bead. There we go. See, that's it's supposed to be stacked. There we are. Pick up a seed bead, skip a seed bead, and needle through that next seed bead. So do that all the way around, come back, and we'll do the next step. And here we are. Here's our bracelet. The toggle made it fit nicely with just the 5 components. I'm not sure what I'm going to call this bracelet, but you'll know by the time I put this video up. And here's the first one I did with the nanofill, and it's too loop, it's not structured enough to hold these points up. So I'll probably maybe go back through it with some wildfire or some thicker fireline, and that'll make it stiffen up like this one. Can you even see it? Yeah. This one's nice and got some structure to it, and it fits well. So thanks everybody for watching. I hope you like the bracelet, and I want to encourage you to, if you make one, and I'd love to see it, just post it on my Facebook page, Michelle's Jewelry Box Creations, and let me see what you make. I'd really enjoy that. Alright everybody, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.